was an emotional start to the night.
Absolutely, yeah. Losing Eli was tough, but it was great to honor him. I think that was, he deserves that. He was such a great person, very passionate about other people, and he worked hard. He worked hard to be passionate about other people. If there's anything I have to say about Eli is that he loved other people, and he worked hard to be that way. It didn't just fall upon him. His family raised him to be that way, and he worked hard to be a very passionate person and a very caring person.
Yeah, no one deserves it more than Eli. He cared about all of us way more than he cared about himself. It was, emotional start to the night, but as a good start. We needed to get that officially off our chest, and the rest of the wrestling community, Iowa, us just needed to all celebrate together for a great human being.
All right, I know both of you will see your opponents again coming up in the
absolutely.
Big Tens. Is the preparation going to be any different in the postseason than it has been all season long?
No, I think we're going to stay as consistent as possible. Everything the coaches are doing now, they're doing to make us the best that we can be, and that's not going to, there's not going to be a different game plan to make us the best. We're not going to switch our game up. What we're doing right now is what we're going to be doing up until Big Tens, up until NCAAs, next year, the year after. The coaches have a really good formula, and we're going to stick to it. Regardless of the wins and losses, the coaches are confident in what we're doing. I think the score didn't show it, but we had a lot of hard-fought matches there. And I think we really showed that we can fight, and we're developing.
I've been covering badge wrestling for 3 years, and this is by far the largest crowd I've ever seen.
Yeah.
How does that change, a match for you guys? How does that change a duel for you?
Personally, I don't think about the crowd. Obviously, it's nice to have running out and seeing 4,000 people in the stands, and you're like, oh wow, there's a lot of people supporting us. There's wrestling's growing, and it's great to see that. But for me personally, I don't think about it during the match. But me sitting on the sidelines or seeing when I sit down here and watch our matches, just seeing that in the crowd, it's just awesome atmosphere and loud. It's nothing better after a win or a really great match with Evan, just to hear the crowd just go crazy, and just nothing better than it.
Yeah, it all depends on how you respond to it, right? You come in and you see a bunch of people, you can either go, oh my gosh, it's going to be a tough one. There's a lot of eyes on me, or you can respond well to that, especially being that it's the home crowd. You got everyone on your side. No matter what you're doing, you're going to get support, and that's good. Every point that I scored against Marinelli, you hear the crowd, and I think as on his side as an opponent, it's very tough to hear that. To hear that just because I returned him, I didn't even score any points, just because I returned him to the mat, everyone was going nuts. So that really helps, and we appreciate the crowd. We appreciate everyone coming out. That was an incredible atmosphere to wrestle in, win or lose. I hope they all come back. I hope they really appreciated what happened. I hope they appreciated watching the matches, and hopefully we can have them back for SIUE.
What is the feeling heading with postseason just around the corner? Is it excited? Is it what's the feeling like in the practice room?
Oh, it's a lot of excitement, because now it's when it really counts. All this other stuff's just working for seeding, just prepping for the postseason, and I think it's great that I feel like our training up to this point has been leading us up to, like Bono will say, we're preparing for two-day tournaments, 3-day tournaments. So we'll be wrestling better those second and third days. So we'll be improving while everyone else is starting to feel sorry for themselves, starting to feel hurt. So the excitement in the room has definitely increased, and it's finally starting to count.
Yeah, everyone's been anxious for Big Tens and NCAAs to come around, and like he said, the coaches they've been, emphasizing that in all of our training, that this is what we're doing, and it's going to lead up to that. So I think everyone's been really anxious for that to come around, and I think everyone's really excited for Big Tens and NCAAs, and I think we're going to have a lot of upsets in NCAAs.
What is your, you're going to wrestle these guys again probably, and you had a game plan going in today, I'm sure, for each of those guys, and the game plan rarely goes the way you had planned for.
Right.
But now when you're going to go plan for your next time meeting these particular opponents, and as well as the other ones, what's your process in planning for your next time meeting them or the next time meeting anyone?
Rewatching the match, seeing what you did well, really emphasizing that in the next match, and seeing what you did poorly and making sure that it doesn't happen the next match. I think, if anything, I stayed really calm that match, and that helped. I think last match I let the crowd get to me a little bit, but I think if there's anything that I did poorly, I kind of wrestled into his game. I think if you look at the neutral parts of the match, I think we were in a collar type position for probably 4 minutes, of the 4 minutes that we wrestled neutral, or 5 minutes that we wrestled neutral. So definitely got to stay out of that. But yeah, just really emphasize what I did well, really stop doing what I'm doing poorly.
Yeah, for me personally, I knew I would be able to ride him at the end, so I knew I had a point in my back pocket. For me personally, I've always been more of aggressive, and that match I wasn't. I don't know if I took like an actual shot, and that's something that I can adjust for further, because I beat him without wrestling like me. And I think that gives me a little more confidence going into future matches, knowing that, because I knew the shot was there mentally, and I was like a mental block that I just couldn't like commit. I mean, he's a big dude, and I didn't want to get stuck underneath him. And so it was more of just getting the confidence, like, hey, that shot's open, I need to take it. Because, I mean, there's a reason I'm here, there's a reason that I can compete with these high-level guys. I need to wrestle my style. And I believe that's true with all of us. If we wrestle our style, we'll beat a lot of guys.
When you guys were neutral, he was, his wrist control, he was, I don't know what to call it, but it was like a figure 4 on your wrist.
Yeah, his Russian tie. Yeah.
Just a Russian tie.
Yeah, he does a little variant of it. And, I mean, he's a Greco world team member. He might have been a Greco world medalist. But I knew that he was going to be really good on his feet as far as hand fighting and ties. And I was just trying not getting pushed around too much. And like I said earlier, I need to start wrestling my style a little bit more, stay in the open. Because I don't want to get caught in those, because that slowed me down for the 5 minutes we're on our feet.
Right.
And so, yeah, that was like part of our game plan, to try to stay out of those as best we could.
You have your, your lineup right now is not the one you started the season with.
Right,
So it's
yeah.
a little different. So when you see the guys, maybe some struggling going on ahead of you, does it get you fired up to try and get it back, get some of it back? Or how do you feel when you're watching?
Not entirely sure. I think, like you said, we have a lot of guys who are kind of out of it right now, and everyone has to step up. So that's tough. But even the guys who are out are really optimistic about coming back, and they're still under our same training plan. The coaches do a really good job of keeping them optimistic as well. So I think everyone's just as excited.
Yeah, like we have 4 starters out. It's hard to beat any Big Ten team with 4 starters out, let alone Iowa.
Well, I've noticed that even those guys that are quote-unquote filling in are given a huge effort.
Absolutely,
and they're,
yes.
They're not backing down. They're not getting called for stuff.
Yeah.
And so I think you guys have a big impact on that as leaders.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all doing the same training program. We're all here for a reason. And it's all the same training program, and I think it's really helping just the confidence of those guys filling in. And I mean, it's exciting. I mean, there's 4 record-breaking attendance, and it's some of them their first like varsity home duel, and it's just exciting.